We now have one final award to present this evening, and I tell you what, it is the big one. The HCF Most Valuable Player is presented to the Giants netball player who has polled the greatest number of votes as determined by the high performance selectors allocated by the Suncorp Super Netball League. So I'm going to invite CEO of HCF, Greg McElweeny, to join us now. And Greg is going to announce our HCF MVP for 2021. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, and look, thank you for having me this evening to honour the Giants MVP for the season. And I just want to say a few words before I announce the winner. Look, I can only imagine that many of you are still feeling pretty raw after Saturday's final, and probably replayed moments in your heads of the game and wondering what might have been. But from all of us at HCF, that loss doesn't define this group by any stretch. And looking back over a most extraordinary season where the players, Julie and our coaching staff, and the entire support team displayed endless resilience that makes everyone here at HCF so proud of you. I lost count of the number of times you were relocated as you were shunted around the country, and you still represented your club with tenacity and a drive to get to that final. And that's amazing mental toughness that I'm sure even Ricky Stewart will be proud of. And as New South Wales have been battling this pernicious pandemic, you should also be very proud that your efforts have lifted the spirits of so many Giants fans and brought joy to so many. We've all needed a bit of a lift, and you delivered that in spades, so thank you so much. And we're all looking forward to a new season where we can finally sit together again at Kenilworth Hall Arena and cheer you on. And to Julie Fitz, you're building a special group of players with a great inclusive culture, and you're all destined for great things. We're very sure of it. We appreciate everything you've put into this remarkable season, and congratulations again on your 350th game from us in HCF. And so to this evening's award of the Giants MVP, the winner could easily have come from 4 or 5 of the playing group. And this year's winner is truly an inspirational leader, calm under fire and constantly encouraging her teammates to lift that little bit more. And listening to her speak during the HCF timeouts during last Saturday's game was a great insight into her leadership. And she spoke with enormous grace and dignity after the final, despite the disappointment, which is a great lesson to everyone. And I've no doubt that when she finally retires, which won't be for some time yet, there's surely a career in coaching waiting for her. And it's my great pleasure that I announce the 2021 HCF Most Valuable Player is Joe Harton.
Oh, so strong, Joe Harton. Oh, Joe Harton just toying with... Oh, take it, Joe Harton.
The athleticism and dexterity there to be able to just flick the ball back. Late one, Harton for the super shot. Oh, nails it.
Harton again. Oh, yeah, they're going to love it. Off the centre pass. The Giants up to the challenge. Manny Hall,
Joe Harton.
So needs to deliver if you're going to do that. Vision to have a look. Oh, look at the cut and drive from Harton.
Oh, Joe Harton.
This time short, but who's there? The Capitano. Goes with Harton, and Harton goes again. Oh my goodness, from downtown. Hello, Joe Harton.
She knocks it down, Giants are in front.
Harton to get the momentum.
Physical stuff from Jenna and Harton.
Ice cold out here.
Has to go long to Harton, keeps it in play.
Oh, well, she did exceptionally well. And this will be an impressive shot if she can sink it. Oh, smart work and great take, the one-handed grab.
This is what a captain can do. It pulls the trigger, wants to go, she does. So, Suncorp super shot. Oh, Harton. Oh, incredible work there. Harton to take the lead for the Giants, and the captain does it.
Well, Joe Harton is certainly a prolific name in Suncorp Super Netball, and rightly so. Playing predominantly under the post this season, Harton returned to her notorious dominant form as she helped navigate a young Giants attacking end. Her leadership is evident in the performance she delivers, the guidance and wealth of experience she provides, as well as her impact and influence on those around her. This is the 3rd time Joe Harton has been named the HCF Most Valuable Player. And I believe Joe is with Laura now.
As Julie said, Joe, it's a three-peat in a roundabout way. How does it feel to take out your third HCF Most Valuable Player?
Yeah, it's quite surprising. I thought it would be someone else. It's one of those ones where it's a great honour, but I just have to say and make mention to like the whole team this year. This has been one of my most enjoyable years of netball. I think I'm crying probably because it's over. Like we've been through like hell and back, and we had each other's backs, which has been awesome, and had some fun on the court. And I think to bounce back from the year we had in 2020 and then to make it to a grand final with a weird and unique mix of people and individuals in our group, it has just been an absolute pleasure.
You've lifted the bar yet again, and Julie Fitzgerald even said, I think she's improved this year. How did you see your performance this season?
I think everyone had to improve this year. I think we were disappointed with where we left 2020, and it's always a challenge turning up to another preseason when you do get a little bit older. And I make mention to the fact that I am the oldest in the group quite a lot, but you know, when you see young girls and, you know, you've got people knocking on the door of the Australian national team, you've got teenagers turning into grown women in front of your eyes, you have to improve along with them. Tilly, you've got some bigger muscles this year than you did last year. But I think we've spurred each other on to bigger and better things. And I think that's probably where my step up has come.
The challenges and adversity faced by this group has been spoken throughout the night. But from a player's perspective, what's been the hardest part?
I think the hardest part has been trying to make our support networks proud. I think that's been my hardest part. Like I've lived away from home for almost 10 years, but to take, you know, people out of, you know, their comfort zones, and, you know, people expect you to perform when you're a professional netball player. And I think we felt the pressure of what people have been going through back home in New South Wales. But I also feel like the hardest part has been, you know, bouncing back from the different travel around the country. I say that it was the hardest part, but also the girls made it look so easy to jump on another plane in another location and just rock up to training like it wasn't anything. It was just, yeah, amazing.
Your surfboard, Pearl, has travelled around the country with us this trip. How's she found the experience?
Well, I was on the plane to Tassie in my bye week, packed full of winter clothes and ready to climb a mountain. And then I had about 90 minutes to go home, change my suitcase, and luckily my surfboard, Pearl, did make the trip. Thank you, Pearl. Shout out to you. You've been used all of 3 times in 10 weeks, so absolutely worthwhile.
It's not quite smooth sailing for you back to Sydney just yet. You do have some English Roses commitments coming up. What does the next month or so look like for you?
Yeah, we've been requested to stay out of New South Wales, obviously due to the pandemic. So I'll probably rejoin a few of my frenemies from the Swifts in the next coming week, and we'll stay up in Queensland or the Northern Territory. And then we'll head into WA probably to meet up with the Roses when they're finished over in New Zealand. So netball not quite done for 2021 for me yet, but as ever, it's always a privilege to keep playing the game of love, and yeah, can't wait.
I know I told you you didn't have to speak tonight, but I couldn't give it away. So if there's anything else you want to add, the microphone to us.
I'd just like to say thank you to our amazing members and fans back home. We miss you dearly, and we cannot wait to play in front of you again next year. Already cannot wait for pre-season 2022. And to our amazing partners, Greg, thank you for speaking so eloquently, but you know, it's your support, and it's our amazing family of partners and supporters that help us to enable us to perform week in, week out. And I know the girls really appreciate it all. Thanks, everyone.